Right now, we have breaking news on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock. Hurricane Ian comes ashore in Cuba overnight, and now Tampa is bracing for its first direct hit in 100 years.
New details reveal what led up to a man shooting and killing 27-year-old Arvada police officer Dylan Vakoff. Why this situation was especially dangerous.
Also, Denver is taking a new approach to give shelter to the growing homeless population. What city leaders are trying to do to get people off the streets.
And you're going to see some different lines out at DIA today, picket lines. What two major airlines, flight attendants from those airlines are doing today and how it could impact your travel plans.
Something you will probably definitely see if you're headed out to the airport today, but hopefully it will be resolved before the really busy holiday season. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. I don't know why anyone would want to leave Colorado today. Lisa Hidalgo here with a pretty good forecast out there.
It's gorgeous, yeah. We're looking at this morning some pretty clear skies. Temperatures now here early this morning in the 40s and 50s. You're going to see sunshine as you step out the door. A few more building clouds and a better chance for a few showers in the mountains, though, starting today. So take a look at your out the door forecast. We'll be in the low 70s here by noon. It will be just a touch cooler than yesterday. Mid to upper 70s here through early afternoon, and then highs will be right around 80 degrees. More 60s for the mountains, a few 70s out west, but a little cooler as we get some building clouds. Coming up here in a few minutes, we'll take a closer look at Futurecast. You can see where a few more of those storms will roll in, hitting spots like Evergreen, Conifer, down and through Douglas County too there along the Palmer Divide. So we'll track that a little closer in coming up.
Oh, we have some big problems on the roadways. One out to the east side. I'll get back to that one in just a second. Want to update you this. We had a suspect of some sort that was shooting on Highway 36 early this morning, westbound or the eastbound side between Wadsworth and Church Ranch. And so officers right now have this section of Highway 36 closed down to try to collect some evidence, some shell casings maybe. And so all traffic's being diverted onto Wadsworth, run that south to Church Ranch, back over to Highway 36. Take a look now to the east side of town. This is where we have CDOT saying now we have a full closure. Northbound I-225. There's a wreck right before Smith Road, before you get to I-70. They're saying they're closing it back at 225. So either Chambers or Airport or Peoria, anything else up to get up to I-70. You can see from the camera there that traffic is not moving. It is going to be a big spot. So northbound 225, plan on it being restricted if not closed at Colfax right now.
Thanks, Jason. The big story we are following this morning, Hurricane Ian, now a Category 3 storm. It hit Cuba overnight.
It is now making its way to Florida, and Ivan Rodriguez is in Tampa, where residents there are preparing for a direct hit.
Hurricane Ian is now a major hurricane lashing over Cuba and is expected to gain strength as it nears Florida. Here in Tampa, thousands have already evacuated from the coastal areas of Tampa for what authorities are calling a storm we haven't seen in our lifetime.
This could be the storm that we've hoped would never come to our shores.
It's expected to be the first major hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. this year, and Ian isn't pulling any punches. The storm has been rapidly strengthening, expected to bring a life-threatening storm surge to Florida's west coast. And for the first time in over 100 years, Tampa could get a direct hit.
Mother Nature always wins. This is nothing to mess around with. If you can leave, just leave now, and we will take care of your personal property.
Hillsborough County, which includes Tampa, issued a mandatory evacuation Monday for all waterfront areas.
Evacuating doesn't necessarily mean that you have to leave the state or drive over to the east coast of Florida. It could be as simple as moving 20 miles inland to staying with friends and family.
Several other counties have issued evacuation orders and are urging residents to get ready, warning those who think they might be in a safe area not to get complacent.
We're going to see significant impacts along the western coast and parts of the panhandle, but the people inland should also take this very seriously. So even if you're not in that direct path, everybody needs to make sure that they're paying attention.
The storm is expected to hit Tampa late Wednesday going into Thursday. One of the biggest concerns is the life-threatening storm surge, which could reach up to 10 feet. Now, this morning, the Port of Tampa Bay will suspend operations, followed then by the International Airport of Tampa, which will cease operations around 5 p.m. We also know 7,000 National Guardsmen have been activated to assist here in Tampa. In Tampa, Ivan Rodriguez.
Thank you, Ivan. Big preparations there, obviously, that we will be following. Back here at home, we're learning more this morning about what led to the death of Arvada police officer Dylan Vakoff. Denver 7 obtained the arrest affidavit for the alleged shooter, Sonny Almanza. Almanza was taking his kids home to Arvada after he learned his ex had left them with other minors in Thornton. She and other family members, though, were waiting outside his apartment when they got back, according to the report, and a fight started in the street. Almanza said he got an AR-15 rifle and shot his ex's sister in the leg. He says he was shot during the exchange and claims he turned around and fired one shot, although the affidavit says Officer Vakoff was shot twice. Almanza says he did not realize he had shot an officer until Vakoff hit the ground. We spoke with a retired detective who says domestic disputes have become some of the most dangerous calls police respond to.
There's just always that over-the-top emotions. And then you have a law enforcement officer who walks into the situation that maybe it took years to get to this situation, and they're expected to solve this problem within seconds.
So as we take a closer look this morning, the FBI keeps track of law enforcement officer deaths. As of last Monday, 49 officers have been killed so far this year just trying to do their job. 8 were victims of an unprovoked attack. Well, however you feel about the homelessness crisis, many Coloradans agree it's becoming a bigger problem, and it's especially visible in the Denver metro. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live with the city's updated plan to help get people off the streets.
We're talking about an ambitious plan for the year ahead. It's filled with everything from creating these affordable homes to creating more programs that really benefit our homeless population. So part of the priorities that are in this plan include creating more than 1,700 affordable homes, expanding pathways to owning a home. That means building up some of those down payment programs. The city also wants to help more than 8,000 households with housing stability. So that means getting them that eviction legal defense they might need, maybe even foreclosure prevention. The continued support of safe outdoor spaces and safe parking programs that we've heard so much about, they're also outlined in this plan because we have to remember so many of our homeless neighbors, they're unsheltered. When it comes to families, the city wants to invest in more hotel options for them, as well as some case management help as well. And Host definitely wants the public's opinion on this. That's exactly why they're hosting this virtual public meeting on October 18th. That's going to be at 5:30 in the afternoon. And then there's also a community survey that anyone and everyone can go ahead and fill out up until October 26th. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta. Denver 7.
All right, Veronica, thank you. The economy hitting everyone. And if you're heading to the airport today to work or travel or even pick someone up, you may notice 2 different picket lines out there. Off-duty Southwest Airlines flight attendants will be out holding signs asking for support for a new contract. Among other things, they want to be paid for the time they're boarding passengers. There's a lot of things about your job that I think a lot of flyers don't understand.
Yes, ma'am. I think it came to the forefront when Delta gave their flight attendants the what they call boarding pay. Most airlines, in fact, all I think minus Delta now, don't pay flight attendants until basically the door shuts, and then when the door opens back again when you land at whatever city you are. So during boarding, if we have any passengers, when we have ground time and there's passengers on the plane, we are still performing safety sensitive duties, making sure we're there for their safety and comfort, obviously, but we are not getting paid our regular rate of pay during those times.
Southwest flight attendants have waited 4 years for a new contract. They'll picket in 11 cities, including Denver today. Again, they're off duty, so this will not disrupt any flights. United Airlines flight attendants will also be picketing at DIA. They're demanding that United fix ongoing operational disruptions and focus on labor relations that support people on the front lines. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is proposing new rules for airlines over those hidden fees. We're talking about those extra charges that you may have to pay for selecting your seat or checking a bag. The president wants airlines to be upfront about those fees. A group that represents major U.S. airlines says they're already transparent about pricing. The public has 60 days to comment before the rule takes effect. Jason.
Speaking of trying to get to the airport right now, northbound 225 is not an option. Use E470, use any other side road. Peoria, Chambers, I guess Sable can get you up to 39th-ish and then back over to Chambers or Airport. Northbound 225 is essentially closed down for a crash between Colfax and I-70. So it looks like they're diverting traffic at Colfax and 17th, Lisa. So big delays. Do not use 225 right now.
And some pretty weather this morning. We'll see mostly sunny skies, low 60s here by about 9 o'clock. o'clock. So if you're getting out for a run or a walk, it'll warm up to low mid 70s by noon. A touch cooler than yesterday, and we do have a chance for a little bit of rain. I'll show you that coming up in just a few minutes.
Well, Denver is rallying behind a beloved establishment struggling to pay its bills and keep its doors open. How customers single-handedly put the Mutiny Cafe of Information back in business.
Volkswagen wants to drive us right into the future. Their latest car concept that would do everything for us.